I just thought of that name, DJ Onomatopoeia.
Too hard to spell. No one's gonna be able to look you up.
Fuck, you're right. I like that though. I like inanimate objects.
Onomatopoeia is not an inanimate object.
I know, but that's where my head just went right now. Like DJ Lemon. That's nice.
But I've been nuts, I getting money, I'm on my thug again. Trying to stack a little dub, trying to catch a win. And next time I drop a coupe, it's gonna be a twin turbo. Always been a G, but I ain't never been a herb though. Way I'm switching lanes, they should call a nigga swerve.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I am your host, Nick Agnelli, here with my co-host, Peter Price.
Yo.
And our guest, Nick Flash, for the second time.
Yes, sir.
Round 2.
Mr. Flash,
Boom,
we are
boom.
so excited.
Yeah.
It's nice for us, me and Pete, to get back on the hot seat. It's been a little while. If you guys don't know what's going on with Pete, watch last week's episode. He kind of dives into what he's been dealing with personally, which is just a lot of shit. And so the last month and a half has been a little rigorous for us as far as recording and being in the flow state of this whole podcast thing. I had my bachelor party, came back, went on 2 little separate family vacations, then had my wedding. And then had Evan Harvey's wedding in the middle of it. It was just a lot. And so we had a backlog of episodes that we released, and we're really happy about that. But we're more excited. We're even more excited to be back. So in that meantime, Laga did get married. Hey!
Yes, sir.
I wear a ring now. Wearing a ring, it feels weird. You don't have your ring on right now?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I wasn't calling you out.
Yeah. Always.
Was it weird putting a ring on at first?
Yeah, it took a couple of days to get used to.
Because I've never been a ring guy. I've always been a jewelry guy, but I don't...
Yours looks a little snug.
Oh, it's a little snug. Well, at the wedding, right? So, first off, I wear my dad's ring, and he had what? Go ahead.
Your parents not together anymore?
No.
Oh, okay.
So they are divorced, and my dad had his wedding ring, and I thought it was cool. It has my mom's initials in it. So
That is cool.
I went to get it resized because it was a little big for my finger, but like it put on, and it wouldn't like fall off if I shaked my hand, but it was like whatever. He wanted to tighten it up, so motherfucker tightens it up. And I put it on one day, and I'm like, I can't get this fucker off. So Paige brought it back, and he squeezed it out a little bit, but it was still pretty tight. Mm-hmm. So the wedding day, you got blood flowing, adrenaline rushing, you're up there. She goes to slide the ring on my finger, hard break on my knuckle, right? So then it was like a joke. I think it's on video. I literally like lube up my finger, twist the ring on, and that's how I got
With your mouth you did that?
So that was just... Listen, I knew there was going to be things that got fucked up on my wedding day. Not in a horrible way, just in a way. So it was like a funny thing for us. But we did get married. The wedding was awesome. And yeah. So that's an update on Pete from last week, and that's kind of an update on me and what I've been going through. Nick Flash, what is the update on you?
Just curious, how was your wedding, DJ?
Oh, that's a good question,
good
Nick Flash. And
question.
I'm glad you asked that. So I am a wedding dance guy. That's kind
Big
of
dance guy.
Someone asked me my 3 characteristics of myself. Wedding dance guy is probably number 3. And
What are the first 2?
Charming.
Okay.
And I guess in like a funny sense, funny.
Yeah, no,
You know,
that's accurate.
I'll take that. You know,
You're
and then
Wedding dance guy.
Wedding dance guy. Yeah.
That's good.
Anyways, so I'm huge into wedding songs. You gotta have a nice flow. You gotta have pump up 80s songs. You gotta have songs everyone knows the words to, and you gotta have hard fucking rap. And so I made a 52 Spotify playlist song playlist, and we emailed to him, and I said hit play. And that was my wedding DJ.
So Nick basically was the wedding DJ.
I was the wedding DJ.
Okay.
And he couldn't fuck it up because every song that came on was a banger. I'm selling it for $29.99 on my Patreon because...
So out of curiosity, how much did you pay this DJ that you
$800
picked every song for?
$800. And he had
whatever.
a few lights, but it was awesome. And I'll link the wedding playlist somewhere if you don't
So
want to
Nick
pay
Flash,
me.
as a DJ, how
Yes.
obnoxious would that be to receive the entire playlist and be told don't deviate from this playlist?
Well, maybe at one point I would be like, but like it's your wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I would take that list and kind of like add my own flavor to
Yeah,
it. You know, like probably add my own flavor to it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that obnoxious, to be
No.
honest with
And
you.
knowing Nick, I'm sure it was probably a pretty solid playlist. Because you're like a wedding vet.
Like I know. Here's the thing, right? Some DJs, and I think they play to the older crowd sometimes because that's who's paying for the wedding. To me, it was like you're playing for me and my fucking boys. Boys were buzzing, right?
The boys were
So
buzzing.
I didn't care about grandmammy in the back getting YMCA. You know, YMCA is off. Cha-cha slide off. I want fucking big booty bitches and ass clapping. That's what I wanted.
Oh, wow.
7 buttons deep. I sweat through my shirt. My dance with my mom, it looks like I literally just jumped in my pool. And her hand was like on my back, and I heard a wet hit when it hit my back.
Nice.
It was pretty embarrassing, but it was what it is. The event.
When do we get the video?
Hopefully soon.
Right, we're gonna have to cut in some clips.
Yeah. But I think what I'm gonna approach you about is I want to get into wedding DJing because
You want to get into wedding DJing? Okay, well I can get you into wedding DJing. I know, like I could jump you in head first if you're really interested.
I think like once a month or like twice a month, whenever I would randomly get booked. Dude, I eat up wedding dance floors. And like I love watching it. I love setting the vibe for it. And I think I'm a decent MC.
Are you gonna keep your stage name? DJ Blue Balls?
100%. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, well, I'll tell you a story. I mean, when I first got into DJing, I met a gentleman named Kenny Mondo. Like I was back when I started DJing. I started with Technique 1200s. Mm-hmm. Okay, and this was when Serato kind of like first came out. So for me, it was great because I could use the turntables to control all the songs on my computer, basically. Mm-hmm. So I could still do the turntables. And I was doing this party one day, and then this guy saw me with the turntables, like playing It's Tricky or something, and he was just like,
"You got something here, kid."
And then he just like threw me headfirst into DJing weddings.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of like learned how to DJ, because DJing weddings is hard because you have to DJ for everybody.
Everyone,
You have to make sure. Like, see, for me, I would want grandmommy
That's
dancing.
what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going for grandma first.
Yeah.
Making sure she's having fun and auntie, and then I would like hit get the boys riled up. So, I mean, if you are really interested, I can link you up with Kenny Mondo, and he can get you rolling right away. To be honest with you,
haven't yet said I'm going to do it, because once I say I'm going to do it, I am all fucking in. But what I am saying is
he's looking for guys like you.
I love.
I'm saying the wedding industry is looking for like guys like you, young, energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because all the newer DJs coming up, they think it's not cool. I'd rather be like I'll run a DJ EDM festivals and stuff like that. Right. When so it's harder to find wedding DJs nowadays. It really is, because it's not like quote unquote cool.
Correct.
But like in my opinion, if I didn't DJ weddings, I wouldn't have known about technique and crowd control and like many things emceeing that are invaluable skills that I learned.
So besides like the obvious like setting up and breaking down difference between a wedding DJ and like a bar DJ and whatnot, like you got to set up all the speakers and you got to MC and all that shit. What do you think the pay difference is from like a nightlife DJ to a wedding DJ?
Oh, I mean, it's night and day. I mean, it just depends what kind of level. If you're making music, if you have like a kind of a celebrity name, if you're headlining shows, you're gonna make like a lot of money.
For the normal hometown local wedding DJ.
Hometown local wedding DJ, I'd say 1,000. Like I'd say a good going rate should be 1,000 to 1,500 if he's really good. 800, like you said, you paid about 800. I mean, that's a good rate. I mean, you get 3 of those in a week.
For 5 hours of work, man. Like you and you got to be on, and you got to fucking make sure everyone's happy. But I think once you got in your flow of it and you built a name and a reputation, like they're paying for DJ Blue Balls, And I'm just gonna have a screen with 2 big blue balls in the front of me.
Nice.
And so when Grammy comes up and asks, I'm gonna say they're 2 teardrops for my grandmas. And then if someone comes up and asks, I'm DJ Blue Balls. So. I think there's a lot
that might restrict you from the amount of weddings you're gonna do. I will say that.
Okay, so
I mean, you're gonna have like more niche weddings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you said Flash was made up?
Yes.
Okay, so I gotta come up with a Nick.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Nick Boomer.
Nick Ravioli.
I was skirting around Nick Danger or something. You know what I mean?
A little rapey.
I love Nick Rash.
Nick Danger.
I don't know. That's why I didn't go with it. You know what I mean?
Nick Rash was perfect.
If I'm coming to town for a wedding and hear Nick Danger is the DJ, I'm like, fuck, straight emo punk. Yeah.
I said I was skirting around it. I did a bit. I was skirting around it quite a bit, to be honest.
That's funny, man.
Maybe Nicky Balls. No, that's fetishy too.
Nicky Balls is
well, I'm just saying, like, DJ Blue Balls can be your like after hours.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. DJ Nick something turns into DJ Blue Balls.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
You got to catch him in stride.
Right.
So just the thought, maybe
I
I'll
like
hit
this
up,
idea,
maybe
though.
hit up your gentleman. I think.
Well,
I
if
would,
you are ready, when you are ready, let me know.
Okay.
We'll do a couple
Dry
lessons.
runs. Yeah.
And then just jump head
And if
first
any of
into
you
it.
listeners out there have a wedding coming up and are interested in booking DJ Blue Balls, you let us know.
Technically, I don't have no experience, but when I tell you, every wedding I go to, I'm that guy. So I do have some field experience. I am a war vet. Not. Oh, we're gonna cut that. I didn't mean like that way. I meant like wedding vet.
Wedding
yeah,
vet,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I meant.
I will tell, I do want to say to young DJs coming up, don't discredit the skills you're gonna learn from being a wedding DJ.
Yeah.
Like, don't let that discourage you. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of experience, and you're gonna really understand the dynamics of a crowd and the dynamics of a dance floor, and it's
Yeah.
really invaluable skill. So any DJs who are listening and are new and want to start, don't discredit being a wedding DJ. It could be cheesy at times, but you know what I mean. You don't have to make it cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen you've been DJing at Cucina a lot lately. How's that been for you?
It's been great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah.
great. Yeah.
Are
Classic.
you getting pretty familiar with the regular crowd there? And
Well,
whatnot?
it's great. Well, they Cucina is one of the first venues around town to get the new CDJ 3000s.
Sick.
So they're really going all in with the equipment, and they're upgrading the sound and CO2 and everything. So it's a real nightclub experience in there.
So for
pretty
DJs,
cool.
local DJs, all they bring is their laptop. They don't bring the setup and shit, or that's the bars.
Well, yeah, Cucina's is going that way now,
Yeah.
which I think anybody who wants to be a reputable club should have the latest club gear,
yeah.
in my opinion.
Set up, and then literally the DJ just comes and
Yeah.
plugs his stuff in, and
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
I got you.
But it wasn't like that for a long time.
It wasn't like that for a long time.
You'd
no.
have to come and set up, and then break down and everything.
Yeah.
Nick Flash would literally roll in with the giant case, and
Yeah.
two people would have to lift it up on top.
Yeah.
So with that DJ and nightlife compared to the last time you were on, any changes, any new things on scope, any people you met?
In the nightlife
yeah.
business. Well,
What's up with the Bad Bunny request lately? The guy is,
Yeah, what
it's
is
like
it?
all over
it's
the place.
a meme.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Bad Bunny request is just turned into a meme.
Right.
I really don't know where that came from, because Bad Bunny's very popular. He's dope. If you like reggaeton, you're gonna want to hear Bad Bunny. But
just a
it's
thing now,
become
huh?
this running joke where girls will put up their phone and it'll just say play Bad Bunny, play Bad
Right.
Bunny. They'll write it on a napkin. You can almost expect somebody to come, a girl to come up and request a song, and it's just gonna be immediate Bad
Yeah.
Bunny. I don't know where that came from. I really don't. But
It's a real thing, though, huh?
You get it, once a night?
It sounds like a meme at this point.
Yeah.
You know what's funny at Cucina? I have a bouncer that stays there
yeah.
now, so there's not too much going on at Cucina. I don't want to say well, I will say it's kind of trashy.
Yeah.
It's kind of trashy. So I feel like it's a certain venue maybe that happens more often.
Yeah,
on.
sure.
You know what I mean? So, but it does happen. It does happen often. I don't know, but it's become a funny meme at this point.
Yeah.
I could take one or two Bad Bunny songs in a row, and then I'm Bad Bunny'd out. It's just it's a lot,
Yeah.
And I got to be in a certain mood for it, and it's just.
JoJo
Right.
and her mom are going to a Bad Bunny concert in a couple weeks.
He by far sold out any artist this year for tour.
Yeah, he's number one in the world or something.
Yeah,
right now.
which is, it makes sense. That's the huge language to speak is Spanish,
Yeah, I guess.
in its reggaetons. So, Nick, in your personal life, anything's changed going on? What are you going through with that?
My personal life is interesting. I'm just making a lot more music now.
Okay.
I'm making a lot more music and making a lot more music and developing my business sense.
Nick,
And
I think you might have a little fuzz in your mustache.
little fuzz.
Yep, you got it.
Got it.
Oh, good. Thank
You got it.
thank goodness.
Sorry.
You're good.
You've been making music.
Been making a lot of music, learning different musical skills, learning taking some songwriting to the next level. Been writing a lot of songs.
What style of music are you making?
So one of the reasons why I wanted to come on the show today, why I hit you guys up, because I have a new album that's on SoundCloud, a new mix that I dropped on SoundCloud called Waifu Dreamgirls, an Emo Kids guide to hyperpop and drum and bass. It sounds like a long title.
It is a slightly long title, Nick.
So I've just been digging and digging and digging for music, and I think one of the things as a DJ that you have to do is kind of get out of your own head a little bit about what you think is cool, right? Like as millennials, we tend to have grown up with like one style of music, you know what I mean, or that we love, right? So it's easy to get stuck in I love this music, and like all this new music that comes out, it's almost like doesn't exist to you, right? So as a DJ, you kind of have to like forget about all that.
Yeah.
You got to forget about that and get in like the heads of the newer generations and like kind of understand that and like really appreciate all new kinds of music that's coming out, right? So when I search for music, I tend to think, okay, what's going to be cool like 5 years from now? You know, like I like to dive into like subcultures and subgenres and find out like what's new, like is on the rise.
And how do you determine what's going to be cool 5 years from now?
You got to really look at like the subcultures. TikTok is a big indicator of where I kind of like started finding hints of this new sound, because on TikTok there's this whole like kids are living on the internet now.
Yeah.
It's not like where we were growing up where you had dial-up and like the internet was like fun, you did it here and there. Everybody that's growing up in newer generations, all they've known is their phone, right? So there's a whole generation of kids that's all they know, right? And they call them like e-boys and e-girls and stuff, right? So there's like this whole subset of kids that you know that are on their phones.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are they listening to? What are they listening to? What are they dressing like? What are they like sampling? With TikTok now, it's a lot of like little samples, little mashups, little things that they like do dances to. But I start like going down these rabbit holes of TikTok and seeing like this more like alternative scene, alternative culture. So I'm kind of like seeing where that's going. So me growing up in the rave scene, I've been a huge fan of drum and bass, but you don't hear drum and bass like anymore at all. So I've started seeing like this resurgence of drum and bass, and I've wanted to like incorporate it more in my DJ sets, but every time I try, it kind of like goes over people's heads. But when I see a lot of other like festival DJs and a lot of DJs are playing drum and bass like a lot more, I'm seeing a huge resurgence of it. And as I'm looking for new drum and bass, I started seeing this other subgenre called hyperpop that kind of fits in. It's like almost like a cross between like 90's rave music and techno and drum and bass. Like there's so many little subgenres. So as I started discovering this music, I'm like, this was like, if I was a kid, this is probably what I would be listening to, you know what I'm saying? If I was going to a rave, this is probably what I would like be wanting to hear. Yeah. You know, I'd probably be dressing like that. Like, so it made me just want to explore it, because when I make mixtapes, I like to kind of just make a period piece almost. Like when you were listening to that jazz house mixtape that I made on SoundCloud.
Still love it.
I made that a long time ago. And it wasn't a very like popular thing on SoundCloud. It didn't even get any traction when I first put it out. But then a couple years later, I started seeing all these people. You know what I mean? So like I was exploring that genre. So I think sometimes like I'll be on a wave, and it's like not cool yet, and I'm like putting it, but people are like, "What is that?" Like I'm not really too sure of that, right? Yeah. And then I kind of hold back from it, and then like I realize like a couple like months down the lane, they're requesting it, or I'm seeing it more often, and I'm like, okay,
love that jazz set, dude.
Like, okay, there was a big time when I was like trying to bring like funk back, where I saw funk was making like a real come up, and like. And I used to play it at parties, and people used to be like, whatever, funk, blah, blah, blah. And then like Bruno Mars came out with Uptown Funk, and then it was like a whole thing. And this hyper pop wave that I'm talking about, there's big influences of this in new modern rap, like Playboi Carti and Trippie Redd and people like that actually have sampled a lot of these sounds and are like moving that sound forward. That's where they got a lot of their beat ideas from, is from this like hyper pop that kind of started in like Germany and countries like that. So I just wanted to explore it and kind of like put my own like spin on it. And another thing that's really coming back, I see like full force, and you're seeing Machine Gun Kelly is like kind of at the forefront of bringing like pop punk back.
Yeah.
And this kind of falls into that place too. Like,
He's
it's
like
alternative,
done a complete
like
180 kind of, right?
Right. So there's a lot of people pushing like the pop punk scene going forward. So you're gonna see a lot more of that in the future. So I was kind of interested to put my own spin on some of these genres.
Cool. So say
package
the
it
name
up.
of the project again.
Waifu Dreamgirls, an emo kid's guide to hyperpop and drum and bass. So waifu is basically like a dream girl, like somebody that you see on the internet that's almost like not real. It could be like a cartoon, like something like this Sailor Moon or something like that. You know what I mean? So like kids, like it's like somebody's fantasy like on screen, basically. And I see so many like kids now that like their form of like
expression
is like meeting girls is all through the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost hard for people to talk to each other nowadays. So it's like the way that like people court each other is like
much different
online, posting thirst traps. So a lot of these, they'll post thirst traps.
Yeah.
And I really do think it's flipped. It's just really just a point I just came to right when you were saying that. I think the weird thing 10 years ago was hitting up someone online and then meeting them in person in real life and going up to them was like the classy way. I think the classy way now is DMing someone online and saying, hey, I seen your profile, I'd love to take you out. When you walk up to a girl in public now and you're a single guy and you're trying to hit on her, that's the weird, creepy thing now. And that's what makes me so upset is like, now as a guy who's a bystander just supposed to go up to the girl first and approach her, that's typically the creepy guy, unless you are just there vibing and you're vibing. I feel like a lot of times that first response is like, oh, he's trying too hard, or this guy's, over the top, or, whatever. But hitting up a random person you've never met or talked to in real life and asking them about whatever isn't creepy, and that's the norm. And it's crazy how those have flip-flopped.
It's true.
But I think this whole next generation of dating is going to start online. Absolutely. I think for our kids, it's going to start online. And
it's like almost already there.
Well, it is. Like, one of my friends is a high school teacher, and he's like, getting phone numbers isn't even a thing anymore. It's all Snapchat. What's your Snapchat? What's your Snapchat? And when I was on my bachelor party, one of the guys who was single, the first thing is, what's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? And like, so obviously I've been out of the dating scene for 3 years, but I think that's really the way that's like, I need to investigate you before I talk to you.
Well, that's what I was just going to say, because you can almost do like a background check on the person without, having to communicate first.
And I saw this TikTok the other day, ironically, and it was like, how to set up your profile as a guy looking to date, like, or single guy looking for women. And it was like a breakdown step by step of like, don't post the fish picture, take this picture on, have a lot of picture with family, whatever it is. And I was thinking, that's insane, dude, that you put, like, just why not just be your fucking self? If you like fishing, post the fish, The bitch is going to figure out you fish either way, Anyways.
I'm even the same way with my tattoo clients, though. Like, I kind of hate when people call me to book appointments and I don't know them, because I sort of want to, like, if I don't know you and we don't have a mutual friend, I kind of want to, like, check you out on Instagram first and, like, make sure that you're, like, a normal person before I book you, and, like, kind of be able to, like, scope you out first, which, I mean, maybe that's me just being sus, but
no. And also, people are going to your private studio to get a tattoo. It's a little different, It's and you do want to do the research there, but yeah, it's interesting. And advice for single guys, I don't know, because I think the world's changed a lot in the last 10 years, but in the last 3, I think it's fucking changed again. So
it's only going to keep going in that direction.
As a single guy, are you single right now, Nick?
Yes.
Okay, and as a single guy yourself, how are you approaching things?
To be honest with you, lately I've been kind of guarded. I haven't really been. I do get a lot of attention, to be honest with you, like DJing, but I don't know. I've just been pretty guarded. Now I'm gonna be getting back out there.
Okay.
At this point.
Are you looking to like date, or are you just?
Yeah, no, just looking to date,
Yeah.
go on adventures. You know what I mean?
Trying to lock something down, or are you just having fun?
Just having fun.
Yeah.
Just having fun.
You're a relationship guy, though. Would you describe yourself as a relationship guy?
I feel like you're a relationship guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
And you got a big heart, Nick.
I do.
I mean, you brought us Asian gifts.
Thank you so much for the gifts. It was very sweet.
No,
You brought some
worries.
cool stuff.
I think that's got to be Asian, no?
Well, yeah, it's like anime.
Anime's Asian, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess so.
Tomato. So
boba milk
you've
teas.
been single and working on yourself, and now you're ready to let yourself back out in the dating
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, I have been working on myself. I'm ready to get back out there.
Would you say you've been playing hard to get, Nick?
Yes.
Okay. And you
Very
think that's
hard.
paying off in the
Very
long run?
hard to get, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Is that
very
strategic?
hard. Was that a pun
No,
you
it's not
used
just.
there?
No, it's not just. It's not strategic.
What
It's
have you
only
been-
strategic in
It's
me.
always strategic.
It's strategic
Too
in
smart
me.
of a person not to be strategic.
It's strategic in me, like really working on myself before I mess around.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, I'm not the type that just needs to be like hooking up. I feel like I meet a lot of guys that just feel like they need to hook up, or they feel they need to have conversations about hooking up. Like as a guy to feel, I don't know.
fulfilled?
You know what I mean? I love hooking up.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, but it's not like at the forefront.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What
But-
have you been doing to work on yourself?
Just developing really good habits. You know,
Like
getting up, meditating, doing some swimming, going to the gym,
Cool.
Stretching, I've seen on your TikTok.
stretching. Now I'm kind of working more on like developing better creative flow, like doing exercises, like making sure that I'm like moving a goal forward in music. So like auto tune.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's figure out how to use auto tune like really well, you know, watch YouTube videos, implement some of those practices. So kind of more like on the creative practice end. But basically developing healthier habits.
Yeah. I think a big thing that people our age stop doing is continuing to educate themselves. I think mostly it happens with people who've gotten either a college degree or have a post-college degree, and they feel like they've done their schooling and that's it, and they don't have to re-educate themselves. And for me, I've never been too educated at all, but I find that I'm always looking to push the boundaries of what I could figure out, just because sometimes I play dumb, but I like to be able to have a foot in every conversation I possibly can. I like to be able to be educated, so if someone asks me a question about something, I can answer, or at least say, I know what direction you're going in, but I have no clue what you're talking about.
Right.
And so I think for that, it's a huge important point, because whatever your sector is, it doesn't have to be music, but find a certain amount of little time every day. You know, every day you're working on the skills you already know and you're refining those, but you also have to push the boundaries of the skills you don't know and try to go down that wire, because that's how you continue to push the boundaries of who you are as a complete professional or personal person, you know, if that makes sense. So, you know, contentness, guys, is great in some seasons of your life, but try to continue to push the boundaries as much as you can, because that's how you become more successful. Contentness, ultimately, with as life moves on and time never stops, being content actually means you're taking a step back, in my opinion. Sometimes it's necessary to take a step back to take another step forward and continue to move forward, but remember that don't be content for too long, because it will bite you in the ass. 2, 3, 4 years will go by. You haven't moved up in your career. Your marriage is settling, right? Your contentness in your physical life, and then you start getting shit wrong with you. And so, you know, take a breath once in a while, but also know that you have to continue to push the boundaries, or you're going to be 45 years old and obese and you know, have type 2 diabetes. So, you know, wake up. And as Pete said on his episode last week, you know, we're young, but health is a real thing, and stay on the cusp of it, because nothing is worse than when you're healthy and you don't realize that, and then you get unhealthy and you realize how much you precious just being in a normal, good mindset every day. Yeah. And I think that's what Pete's really realized. It's like, holy fuck. Why he's so grateful now that this has happened is because it's given him gratitude for his everyday life. You know, like, I told him the analogy I used last week is like, for the last 2 months, he's been having a migraine every single day waking up. And I said, you know, for the last 26 years of your life, you woke up, you know, some days you probably did, but you woke up mostly without a headache. And now the biggest blessing in the world to you today would be just to wake up with no headache. So if you woke up today with no headache, know there's someone out there who woke up with a headache and was like, fuck, dude, 72 days straight, you know? And so for those people who have a hard time writing a gratitude list, literally start with little things that are so simple and obvious. You know, I have a roof over my head. I can breathe oxygen. I'm a human. I'm alive. And then you could start to continue to push the boundaries of what you're grateful for. But you got a lot of shit going on in your life if you're able to watch this right now. So realize that. Little deep dive, but we haven't done that in a while. So that was nice. Yeah. So Nick, in your DJ career now, you've released this song. Are you trying to be a triple?
Have you released the song?
So this is a mixtape that I released, and so this mixtape, this Hyperpop Drum and Bass, is kind of a love letter to like the newer generation, like saying like, I see you guys, and like I'm looking to the youth for more inspiration. You know, like instead of looking for my elders, I'm really looking to like the youth culture for where to go next. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important for DJs to do, is listen to like the younger kids. Yeah.
Cool.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to also put some younger DJs on too, like locally. I'm going to see like younger DJs and I'm learning a lot from them, and I'm seeing, wow, like I am not the only one like that's playing this. Like I'm starting to really like I want to shout out to DJ Underwood. I've been going to see him a lot. I'm trying to get him in the rotation a lot. Like he's definitely like on the cutting edge, and like he's definitely like pushing boundaries here locally in West Palm, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, cool.
I love it. And you know, to be the new wave and to be the frontier of something, you have to have foresight, and then you have to have absolute faith in that foresight that you're going to create the wave, or the wave's never going to be rippled.
Right.
So,
just getting out of your own head.
Correct.
Getting out of your own head to thinking like what's cool.
Yeah.
You know, like as millennials, we're actually not that cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're really not. You know what I mean?
Your name's Nick Flash. Pretty cool.
like our generation, like. We got a lot to learn, you know what I'm saying? And like if we keep an open mind, we can really like discover some really cool stuff.
For sure.
I think that big thing too is age. I think the older you get, the natural thing is to lose perspective and hone in on your beliefs. Like as in your 20s, you're pretty much like, all right, I'm exploring the world now as an adult. I'm figuring things out, and you have a kind of a wide belief, whether it's politically or worldly or whatever. And then in your 30s, that shrinks a little bit. In your 40s, that shrinks a little bit. By your 50s, it's like, these are my beliefs, you know, and you're really concrete in those. And I think it's one big thing to have perspective the older you get, that, oh, these kids aren't dumb and stupid. We were the same thing 20 years ago.
Right.
You know? The 20s and 30s and 40-year-olds were saying these stupid dumb kids are using a MySpace. What is a MySpace, you know?
Right.
And then that is the new wave. And now TikTok's the new TV, and no one's watching News Channel 5 anymore. Why? Because that old generation's dying off, and no one's doing that. So,
and even if you think about like 8 months ago, a lot of people really hated on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then, like, a lot of those people that hated on TikTok are starting to realize, like, fuck, TikTok is how you grow.
And if you haven't noticed, Instagram's new kind of format is exactly like TikTok.
Right.
Full page images and random shit. I mean, I think out of the people I follow on Instagram, like, 1 out of 10 posts is about that. And they're flooding you with ads. And
there's
like,
kind of been a lot of backlash about that.
A lot of backlash.
And I'm happy to see that you guys have, like, really taken off on TikTok.
Your advice was taken highly into consideration. We changed a lot of our formatting because of your advice on TikTok.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm doing with the light bulb agency. And you asked like what I want to do in my career wise. I'm just kind of picking and choosing the right consulting clients when it comes to this stuff. Yeah. Because while we were talking about before, being on the road, like you can have a very successful business, but you can talk. There's also toxic clients out there.
Yeah, sure.
So you kind of got to be careful what people that you work with. So that's like kind of where I'm at right now, just kind of being choosy of who I'm working with at this moment.
Have you still been creating a lot on TikTok?
No, I need to. I kind of fell off on that. Like I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok.
Yeah.
I feel like it's great if you have a podcast and you have like consistent content flowing, but I felt like I was almost trying to work for the app and not having the app work for me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I got conflicted a little bit with TikTok. And then another thing with TikTok, it's also kind of a dangerous app in my opinion because it's so addicting.
Very addicting.
It's so addicting that it's like, I don't want to get, sometimes I don't want to get involved with TikTok just because I know it's like a consumer of time and a consumer of, so there is a double-edged sword with some of these new platforms, unfortunately.
Do you know if there's any validity to, like, I know a couple months ago it was like super easy to grow and blow up on TikTok. Is it not necessarily the case so much anymore? It seems to have like plateaued a little bit.
I think that at this point, like, consistency is key in anything.
Yeah.
You know, so like you guys have just been staying consistent and seeing the the growth from the consistency. I think it's really all about that no matter what platform that you go, and just being able to just keep it going, you know. I
did hear though from multiple like people I follow, and I've seen, I did look it up. TikTok did put their feet in the sand when it came to like throwing views out as much though, because they were finding that too many people were growing too fast. And like on Instagram, it was much harder to have that degree. For instance, on TikTok, you gotta have 100,000 followers and do 2-second dances and no one gives a shit. On Instagram, unless you bought your shit, if you have that much, there's validity to it. So I think from what I've heard, they pulled back. Not like it's not impossible to continue to grow on TikTok anymore, but they pulled back significantly because they wanted to kind of make it justifiable to have X amount of followers. Whereas Instagram, like they came out with the Reels, so it was really important to post on Reels because Instagram was pushing Reels to kind of match that view count of TikTok and what they were getting. So one kind of moved back a little bit and one kind of pushed forward. But it's interesting. Social media is crazy. It's a thing that, like, with my lifestyle being blue collar and being the way I am, like, a part of me thinks it's so foo-foo, but in reality, I sound like an old grumpy man right now because that is the wave. And influencers are now marketers, and they are supporting huge brands. Fortune 500 companies are these TikTokers, you know, Ziploc commercials and this and that. So, I mean, it's just like, you know, shit or get off the bucket at this point. And
yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the only commercials that I consume these days. Like, I don't watch TV, so I don't ever see like a standard television commercial. The only stuff I hear is like ads on podcasts and ads on YouTube videos and shit like that.
Because what they could pay
Instagram ads.
Exactly, because what they could pay the influencers compared to what they pay these huge TV agencies is way less.
And the engagement, you know, I don't really give a fuck about a TV ad. I'm probably looking at TikTok while the TV commercial is playing, where if Logan Paul says, eat Blue Chew because I fucking eat Blue Chew and I fucking love Blue Chew, you know, then I'm going to go, oh, well, you know, Logan Paul likes it. I love Logan Paul, and my dick doesn't work either. I'm going to get Blue Chew, you know? I don't know why I use that example. My dick works. You know?
Metaphorically, his dick doesn't work.
But you know what I'm saying? You know, if there's a personal brand attached to the commercial that you already are endorsed with, or that you've already bought into that personal brand who's vouching for the product, it's that much more powerful.
100%. And I have a question for you, Peter. Didn't even think about this till just now when you brought up your penis.
Okay.
Have you ever taken a dick pill?
Yeah.
How was it?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How much did you take? Just asking for a friend.
Whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Viagra?
Cialis?
How long was the experience? 4 hours?
No. I think at that point you're supposed to like go to the doctor.
Oh, so it was like a normal experience. So after you got done, it was just over?
No, I probably could have kept going or something.
Yeah, because that's just a nightmare of mine.
They literally say at the end of the commercial, like, if you experience an erection lasting more than 4 hours, consult a doctor.
Literally, that's me. No, it's on my bucket list to take a dick pill before I die. And
talk to Papo Taco. He has a plug, I think.
Yeah?
Something like that.
Well, I heard there's a certain honey, too, that gets you going up there. But I don't know. I just want to do it. But I feel like I would overdo it. That's the thing. And so that's what I'm a little scared about. You know, I would be the guy going to the hospital. You know. Have you ever taken a dick pill, Nick?
I haven't yet.
Yeah. I kind of want to go down that road.
It's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middle.
Thumbs middle.
Thumbs middle.
I've kind of just had to take the L in those situations. It
doesn't work. Yeah.
No.
Big chow?
No. I'm just saying, like, in those situations, I've just taken the L.
What does L mean, Nick?
Taking the loss,
like you were in
the
a
W
situation
and L.
where you needed one.
In a situation where it would have,
Yeah.
You know, more or less. I mean, I'm just like, you know what? This ain't happening today.
When I
think it's like in that situation, like if you're embarrassed by it, or like if you're any way embarrassed by it, or you're like in your head, you're like, oh my God, I gotta fix this. Oh my God, what's happening? It's just never gonna work. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a mental thing. Like if I would rather work out my mental issues with it
to
first.
clarify, when I took the dick pill, it's not because I needed to take the dick pill.
Right.
I just wanted to impress somebody. You know, I just had the dick pill because Papo Taco gave it to me, and I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking. You know?
Yeah.
So
it's never been offered to me.
Yeah. So I just had one, so I used it to.
Well, I feel like Peter. I feel like only someone who needed it would say they did. Like I feel like you're defending him. I know brought up that point, Peter.
No, that's the point he was making.
He was looking
he took the L. It wasn't like I was like. I was just like, I got this thing. I was like, about to go stun on this bitch.
That's true. That's true. I did take one L in my life, and I want to ask you about your L's. At what point have you ever taken an L in your life where you just couldn't get her up?
I don't think so.
It's a millennial issue. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And and I want to bring up this point because on the Millennial Mentality podcast, because if you. People are watching, like, consuming more TikTok and more porn than ever before, and that, like, 100% will lead to erectile dysfunction, whether you like it or not. So, like, my advice to anybody, like, millennial, like, watching this, like, stay off porn, like, 100%. Yeah. My personal opinion.
It's good advice.
My L, I remember, we were, going, and my thing was, it wasn't whiskey dick, I was too high. So
really?
I got in my head, and I was like,
I was
trying to do mind-muscle connection. I was like, all right, turn on. And it just wasn't. And at this point, we were fully nude. And so, just what literally wasn't working. It was actually going backwards,
well, when you start thinking too hard about it, I feel like you psych yourself out,
So I said, give me 5. I went to the bathroom, tried to shake her out, a helicopter. It was just empty hose. And so I went back in, and I said, sorry, it's just I think I said something like, "You're so beautiful." Made me scared. But it happens from time to time. I'm sure there's a few guys out there who have an L or two.
Sometimes I just
gotta take the L every once in a while.
Sometimes I just can't finish. Is the only problem I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that I can't get it up. It's just I can't.
What do you think your longest sexual experience lasted?
Like an hour or something.
That's always a good problem to have every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm not like disappointed, I mean, maybe I'm disappointed, but it's not like they are,
Well, at some point, some girls get offended,
Right, that's
absolutely.
the problem.
There is, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I feel like a girl's, flattered time is like 10 to 20 minutes.
Right. Once it gets beyond that, then it's like
they're like, I'm
you gotta
not
reassure
hot
them.
enough.
It's like, no, I just drank too much Jameson. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
Well, then, so we talked about your music. We talked about your personal life.
I've got a question about the music still.
Yeah, cool.
Are you making the beats and everything from scratch, or are you sampling stuff?
So on the mixtape, I want to talk. On the mixtape is just a bunch of hyperpop and drum and bass mixed together with some like pop punk like emo flair that I even like did some vocals on for the mixtape. So in my discovery of that, there's this app called Splice, and what Splice is basically producers give you a bunch of tools to make your own beats.
Cool.
Right? So they give you drums, they give you like loops, they give you anything you want. So as I was digging through like hyperpop, I wanted to like make some of my own like to put on the mixtape, and then I discovered this kid named Oak Screen, and he had this whole library of sounds to use. And what was cool about it is that he had like some very like folk acoustic melodies on there, and I was like, wow, this is like right up my my alley. And as I was kind of practicing with my voice and I wanted to practice with autotune, so I just took an acoustic loop and threw it into Ableton, and I just started writing to it, and I just started like practicing with my voice. Oh, this could sound good. Oh, this is not. Or let me tweak the autotune like this. Put it in the key of D minor and went to town, and then it actually became like a whole song that I just released on SoundCloud called Interlude in D minor. So that's on my SoundCloud right now.
Okay.
So yeah, that became a whole song. So now with that, I wanted to expand on that and make that into a whole EP that's actual like songs. So maybe 3-song, 4-song EP that's along those lines, kind of like folk, acoustic, kind of like bare bones, and then throwing a little like hip hop flair into there as well.
Cool. You fuck with the Lumineers?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Lumineers. It's like Mumford.
Did you play it at the wedding?
Hey. No.
Oh.
But I should have.
That's a wedding jam.
Nick, when
that's
I tell
a wedding
you,
banger.
It was literally like, imagine an 8th grade dance. So back in 2008, what was playing? Or like Dwyer's Homecoming. Yeah. It was that vibe.
Here. Why don't you guys open a Reptar bar? Let's see if your tongues really turn green.
I'm excited. Where'd you get these snacks from? Do you feel?
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna plug them?
Yeah. FYE in the Wellington Mall. Oh, I want to talk about the Wellington Mall because on my road
slime coming out of you.
On my road trip experience, malls were like a thing of the past. I mean, every time I walked by a mall or passed a mall, they were like ghost towns, right? Then I went to the Wellington Mall today to try to find like a kind of anime looking shirt for this podcast. Mm-hmm. The mall was packed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely slammed.
I think
it was slammed. I felt like it was 1998, literally.
I went to the outlets a few weeks ago and they were packed too. I think there is going to be
a mall resurgence.
Well, there's 2 things that's going to happen in the next 10 years. Either the world's going to end, or we're going to swing back in a direction of like support. Like we're almost going to hit the rewind button and start going backwards a little bit. Like more consumer, more small business, more personality into things. I pray that, and this might be going against technology, I pray that we start to bring a little humanity back into things, because on the trajectory we are. Remember, like in movies when we were a kid and a hologram came up and someone was talking to someone, like a video chat via hologram? Yeah. That's a thing now. Mm-hmm. And like I think about Spy Kids when they had like a watch that was like a thing. That's literally a fucking Apple Watch.
Yeah,
and like that was Spy Kids, bro, the thumb. Sick. And so I hope that, like what I'm seeing in the real world, not on the news, not on social media, but in the real world, I see a swing slowly of being in real life, going out, experiencing, supporting the small businesses and the retail stores. Because I get Amazon is easy, but really I try not to buy on Amazon as much as I can.
Me too.
I know the retail.
I wish I could say the same.
I know the retail's marking it up, but listen, I don't know. And for me, like with clothes especially, little green.
It's not too green.
Yeah, okay. It's not crazy green.
It's not too green.
I kind of just inhaled it. Maybe.
Maybe.
I should have.
What about?
You're pretty green.
You're green. Very green.
Very green. All right.
What was your favorite trick-or-treat candy, would you say?
Trick-or-treat candy? Nestle Crunch.
Really? You're a Crunch guy?
Love Nestle Crunch.
Wow.
I still eat Nestle Crunch to this day.
Really? Frozen Nestle Crunch are
actually,
the best.
and Butterfinger too.
Butterfinger
really?
is mine, yeah.
I love Butterfinger.
I was never a Butterfinger guy. I would trade. So I would have a Butterfinger and say you had a Reese's or something. I'm trading. So you're putting Butterfinger over Reese's.
I'll give you Snickers. You can have my Snickers. Give me the Butterfinger and Nestle Crunch.
I really love all three.
Yeah.
What?
I like Snickers a lot too.
I love Snickers. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I would take a Nestle Crunch over a Snickers.
But you're taking a Twix over a whatever you just said?
Butterfinger?
Yes.
It's hard, dude. I like them all.
Twix is banging, dude.
Twix is banging.
Especially the right Twix.
Okay, well, no, don't get ridiculous. They're the same.
What?
Left and right's the same.
You haven't seen the commercial?
They're the same.
They're made on 2 different factories. You didn't see the commercial?
Yeah, it's fake.
I don't believe that. Why would they put it on a commercial, Peter?
For people like you.
No, there's a difference in the taste, Peter.
I don't think so.
To the viewers, we're going to put a poll on the screen here. We never put the poll. We're like...
No, we do now because they're on Spotify. The poll's on Spotify.
Poll's on Spotify.
I got to make a note.
I think there is a difference. What do you think, Nick?
What?
Is there a difference between the Twixes, right and left?
Absolutely not. They're twins.
Thank you.
They're identical twins.
I do have a good question, though. What if you twist the package upside down? Right and left switch. So my point might be invalid. But no, maybe they say on the package R and L. You know?
They're the same.
I will say,
we gotta look
Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday.
Really?
I still trick or treat to this day. I think one of the reasons I want to have more kids is so I can just keep trick or treating.
Trick or treat, yeah.
Seriously.
The excitement of trick or treating, that was a pretty high adrenaline.
What's your best Halloween costume, you think?
Spider-Man. I bought in the 8th grade. I was about 210 pounds, and I bought a youth 10-year-old Spider-Man uniform. I want to put the clip up. Remember when I tagged you on Instagram the other day of Spider-Man running? I got to show you guys this clip. We'll pause. We'll break in the clip right here. That was literally... I'll find a picture of me, dude.
I wonder if this is still cold. Is it cold? I don't think it's that cold.
Want a cup of ice? I'll grab you one.
I don't know. You think boba is good with ice? You think? It might be.
The boba place sometimes serves it with ice.
Don't they? Do they? They do, right?
One of them does.
This was literally me.
One of them that I go to does, one doesn't. Oh, yeah, you did say
It might be.
I'll grab you a cup of ice.
That was me, bro.
That was you?
That was me.
Oh, dude,
That's a
yeah, I
good
love
song.
trick or treating, bro.
That's a good song. There goes my hero. Watch it. So, dude, I'm going to Greece next summer
That's gonna be.
on a cruise, dude, for my honeymoon. Crazy. Greece? That's like where the Greek are from, you know?
No, dude, I just love watching like videos of DJs DJing out there. That's like
I know.
a dream.
I might have to go to Ibiza. You know, I do regret. So I was in college, and like one of my best buddies growing up, he went to college in Pennsylvania and play football, and him and his
What school?
Lehigh,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
Allentown, and
Let's see. I'm gonna crack one of these open. You wanna
yeah,
crack
brother,
One of these open?
I'm okay, man. I'm
You
on.
all right?
I'll just take a sip.
All right. I might as well try it.
So Nick, I'm doing 75 hard. I'm not supposed to have cheat meals, and I think chocolate would be a cheat meal. So that's the only reason.
Oh, you don't have to eat it. No,
No,
you don't have to eat
What
it.
I'm saying
It was
is
just a
my inner Nick wants
gesture
to
of.
down the green gel right now, but I can't.
It was a gesture of goodwill.
No.
That's it.
I totally understand,
Very
Nick. And one of my love languages is gift giving, so I am.
Is that one of your love languages?
100%. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I can tap into
gift
that.
giving to me is almost like acts of service sometimes too, because like if she cooks me dinner, that's a gift, you know? Like that's like you did something for me, you know? Because my gifts, I've never given her a gift once. Believe this, actually once, besides the engagement ring. Material thing. It's always been trips, experiences.
There's boba balls in that can?
There's boba
Shut
balls
up,
in the
dude.
can.
No
Look at
way. All right, I gotta try this.
Back one of them things.
I've never had a fresh bobas. Is there an N on the end of that? An S? Boban?
I think you would just say
Fuck, is that
boba.
supposed to shake this?
Well, let me give a shout out to the guy at FYE. His name is Glenn. I've been going there for all my
Glenn at FYE.
nerd needs for years now.
Oh my god, there's boba balls.
The mall in Boynton Beach used to.
How many malls you been going to, Nick?
Well, no, I didn't go to that today, but there was a mall in Boynton Beach, and there was the FYE was there, and he used to run the FYE there, and I used to get like some like comic book characters and stuff. I'm big into like collecting toys. I'm a huge geek. So.
I don't know about the boba balls. What is that?
It's tapioca.
Yeah, I did a big scoop too. It's tapioca?
Tapioca,
Like
pretty
rice pudding tapioca?
Yeah, that's what like a boba ball is. Pretty
It's
much
like just a
tapioca.
thing of rice? I don't know. What do you think about that texture? You don't like cheese, creamy cheese.
Yeah, that doesn't remind me of creamy cheese.
I don't know about the texture.
I'm a fan of boba. I like boba.
You finish that.
Well, a lot of the kids who listen to Hyperpop drink boba at the same time. So that's one of the things to do.
Me and JoJo are boba people. We get boba.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have to be getting the boba club then. You know?
There's a lot of flavors. You'll find
Is there a
something
boba
that
in
you like.
Jupiter? You gotta figure out if there's bobas in Jupiter. We
Yeah,
should
I
open a boba shop.
Maybe.
We were gonna open a boba.
If there's not a boba, that would pop off in Jupiter. It's Jupiter.
Yeah.
You know? Like they
It's
would
very
live for the
Jupiter.
boba. You know?
Yeah.
We were gonna do that in Maine before everything like went down. Like the town was approving it and everything. I mean, it was one of the things that was
Yeah.
gonna be on the menu.
Yeah.
But we were gonna focus on just treats in general.
You know, I think Nick Flash, I could see you using really in real life is wheelies.
Wheelies?
Because, and I think
What do you mean?
the crowd, no,
Wheelies?
Heelys.
Heelys.
Oh, Heelys.
I think, bro, with the crowd you're going after, I think of E-Kids, I think of Heelys. Because I think of 15 years ago, because that's what we're in, Heelys. And I think,
Yeah.
And I think maybe,
Just rolling through the streets on Heelys, drinking boba.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, if I saw Nick Flash heeling down the sidewalk, I'm thinking, not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Not crazy
You
at
know?
all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting somewhere quick.
Could you ever heel?
He's getting somewhere in a flash.
That is, ooh.
Oh.
I like that. Maybe you got to get a still shot for your EP coming out of you in Heelys like this and looking at the camera.
Are you gonna do the picture?
And there's a lightning bolt in back. I'll take the picture.
Are you gonna take the picture?
I'll take the picture.
Are you gonna help me find Heelys? That's the thing.
We
gotta go find them.
I'll buy everything. I'll buy your whole costume for you.
You buy my whole costume.
Whole costume. And you know what you're wearing? You're wearing a sleeveless jean jacket, a button-down jean jacket, but it's open. And I want full chest hair there.
Full chest hair. I can do that.
In Heelys.
I know you can.
You know, funny thing you mentioned about a cruise. You know, I won a chest hair competition on a cruise one day. There was a chest hair contest. I mean, I won second place.
Yeah.
The guy that beat me he had the back hair going for me.
Okay.
See, like, I didn't quite get there, but it was a chest hair competition, not a back hair competition.
Yeah.
So I
Do you have
I felt a bit cheated.
Yeah, a little
You
bit.
know when your chest hair, I feel like chest hair goes long, is you know when you sit in the water and your hair floats up? You know, have you ever had that happen? You know?
No, I don't have enough.
No, I don't have enough. But does your chest hair float up?
Oh,
when
it floats.
Yeah, it floats.
It's floating.
You know,
it's floating, baby.
It's floating, baby.
Dude. So Paige and I are looking to possibly, we got pre-approved to buy a house, and so it's got a little backyard, one of the properties we're looking at. So I thought about getting a hot tub. I think I'm a hot tub guy. I don't know right now with no kids.
Don't think too hard on it. I would just go.
I would just get a hot tub.
That's
Like
something
a four-seater, nice jets. I think I'm using the hot tub more than I would use a pool that I bought without kids.
Hot tub's not something you need to think too hard about. Man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
You can have a
something.
hot tub here, even.
I 100% agree.
You don't need the new house.
And I feel like maybe I would just have guests come over just for the hot tub.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
How much
and-
does a hot tub go for?
Maybe 15, 10.
$1,000?
Probably.
Oh, fuck.
Well, I'm getting the bad boy that, does, and
Jeez.
massages you. Maybe.
Okay,
you know.
shit.
I want it to be an experience for my guest in my hot tub.
Well, yeah, I'll come over and sit in your hot tub.
Dude, hot tubs are the best. Listen, I was in a bar pool in Minnesota for my wedding.
Yeah,
Have you
I saw the picture.
ever been in a bar pool before?
No.
It's all fun and games until there's a lot of drunk people around you and you realize there is probably a shit ton of piss in this pool.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine how many times at a drunk bar you've gone to the bathroom. Here you just stand and you're just pissing, you know? That
How many
pool,
times did you pee in that pool?
None. Because I usually pee in a lot of pools. I'm the pool peer. But in that one, I'm like, dude, I can't add to the bank of piss in this thing. And at that point, I got out of the pool because it really started skeeving me out, you know? And I'm not a skeeved out guy. But I was like, I'm literally in a porta potty right now. And there's probably tampoons in there. You know, there's a lot of stuff.
Tampoons?
So maybe.
Did you just say tampons in a weird way? What are tampoons?
P-O-O-N is poon. People usually pronounce it wrong. They say tampon. It's tampoon. You guys didn't know that? You've been pronouncing a lot of things wrong today. What was it? What was the lake city?
Lakeland.
Oh, yeah, he was talking about Lakeland. And
That's the home of Publix.
Lakeland.
yeah.
Lakeland is the home of Publix.
See how Nick says it? Lakeland.
No, he pronounces it wrong, too. Yeah, it's Lakeland.
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 Land of the lakes.
Well, that's why they named it. You gotta think
of the
about why
lake.
they named it. They didn't name it Lakeland.
Lakeland.
I say Lakeland.
It's one word.
It is
But
one
you know-
word. It's not lake, land separate, right? It's
Well, you gotta
spelled
spell
one
it out.
word.
It's lake and then land, right? So you gotta pronounce it Lakeland.
No, it's Lakeland.
It really is Lakeland. It would be Lakeland if it was
I believe in the
divided.
answer.
If it was two
If it was two words, it would be Lakeland.
No. Well, you gotta think about it this way, guys. The L is capital in land.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely not
Meant to be
capital.
Lakeland.
It's absolutely not capital. If it was capital, then I'd give it to you.
No, I really do think it is. Yeah.
If it was capital, yeah, I'd give it to you all the way.
Well,
I love when you just make things up.
no, I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, and I think I've seen it one place,
That's so
if I
funny.
could recall correctly.
That's so funny.
Wow, Publix was made there.
That's the home of Publix.
Really?
That was my first job in Florida, and I've been all
At
over the
Lakeland
country.
Publix?
No, at a
Oh,
Publix.
okay.
Publix was my first job, and being all around the country, Publix really is the best supermarket, really and truly.
I'm telling you, it's top.
It's top.
Yeah,
it's top notch.
tier.
I mean, because some of the
They're
grocery
sketchy, dude.
stores are
They're-
sketchy. Yeah.
They got Save-A-Lot. That's just a sketchy name, right? Why am I listen.
You won't catch me as-
I want to save a lot, but I don't want to go into a Save-A-Lot.
Absolutely not.
You ever go to an Aldi?
No, I'm not an Aldi fan.
No,
Not a fan of Aldi's.
I'm telling you, Pete.
Yeah, well, I haven't gone in a while.
Yeah.
I'm back on Publix.
No shade to
Publix.
Aldi's. Shout out Josie. No shade.
Yeah, well, we're Publix people now that we live in Jupiter.
Oh, this is true. Pete lives in Jupiter. Wow.
Yeah, I'm back in Jupiter, guys.
Dude, crazy,
33458.
Oh, the 5'8". It's great to have Pete back in the hood. The 5'6".
I live so close to you now, dude.
It's about a stone's throw and a little more, but no, it's great to have him back in Jupe. I feel like Jupe, this is just prejudice as fuck, is the coolest town in Palm Beach County, and I believe that. Statement. And ballsy statement, but I was raised in Jupiter, so that makes sense now to a lot of people, but. It's just cool. There's the water right here, and I'm just a big advocate of it. Would you like to live in Jupiter, do you say?
I wouldn't.
See, and I find a lot of people don't like it, and I think I only like it because I was raised here, really.
I like Jupiter. Don't get me wrong.
What city in Palm Beach County would be your dream city to live in?
My dream city in Palm Beach County to live in. To be honest with you, I really liked living in Northwood.
Where's that?
To be honest with you, that's before the pandemic, I was living in Northwood. I really liked it there.
That's West Palm?
Yeah, it's like kind of the art district.
Yep.
Over there. I really like.
You know what Wynwood is in Miami?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a baby version of that, just outside of downtown West Palm.
Did we walk past that one night? Remember we were walking past the hippie stuff late?
I don't think so.
I just like really historic neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It was a historic neighborhood. Like
had character.
It had a lot of character. I liked it.
Yeah. Awesome. And where do you live now?
I live Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard and like Village Boulevard.
Yeah.
So like right by a Publix.
Yeah. Dude, there's places everywhere.
Right by a Publix. I can walk to Publix.
Dude, I'm
That's
telling
convenient.
their market.
There's also a nice boba place in that plaza.
It's okay.
They put ice in their boba there.
No, I like the boba there. It's okay, but like the experience in that boba shop
It's
is not,
weird.
It's
They've
like
got plastic.
too much plastic, too much masks going on.
Right.
And
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan of. Now I went and I went to another boba place in Boynton.
your boba
And
guy.
this boba place, like the bobas were so big it didn't go through the straw. That's not good.
In the picture for your song with the Heelys, you have a boba in
That's
your
what
hand.
I'm telling you.
Your hair's got to be slicked back, though, Nick.
You want it slick
I
back?
want it straight and slicked back.
Straight and slick back. I'm thinking of growing a ponytail. What do
No, you
think?
got to do a mullet. Pull your hair back like that again.
Look at that.
Yes,
Look
but
at that.
straight.
That's pretty good.
We got to drop the perm, use the fucking straight hair, straight back.
Look at that. Yeah, we're growing,
Dude,
baby.
you in a mullet,
We're
you got-
growing.
you got
We're-
nice lettuce,
we're,
dude.
We're growing again. We're
Really
growing
nice
again.
lettuce.
Let me see. You got a hardy
I'm
head
almost
of hair.
buzzed.
No, you have a hardy head of hair though.
Oh, I'm
Grow-
thick, boy. I got thick head.
No. Grow your hair out. You're talking about
Dude,
a mullet.
no, but I'm a
Talking
chia.
about
I'm a
mullet.
chia pet.
No, you're not.
No. When my hair grows out, I'm saying, dude, it grows out too.
Does
so
it?
my grow out of my hair. I growed it 9.5 months one time.
It'll fall though.
But it's also curly.
it'll
It's
fall.
also curly. So here's the problem.
I want to see 9.5 months.
I'll show you a picture. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you.
So, do you for the album art for the project, is it going to be animated, or are you planning on doing a picture?
Well, for the Hyperpop mix, I want to just say the name again. It's Waifu Dreamgirls, Emo Kids Guide to Hyperpop and Drum and Bass. That's the title. It's on SoundCloud, and you'll see the album cover of it now. It's all animated.
Oh, it's out now.
Yeah. And I want to hold on.
We'll put the link in the description.
I want to pull it up real quick because I would like to give. I want to give a shout out to Rick, who did the album art cover. Really talented artist, 23 from Florida.
Hey.
On Instagram, his tag is Conjunx, CONJUNXX. That's who did the album cover. Amazing animator, artist. So you can see the.
Cool. We'll throw his stuff in the description too.
I just thought of that name, DJ Onomatopoeia.
Too hard to spell. No one's gonna be able to look you up.
Fuck, you're right. I like that though. I like inanimate objects.
Onomatopoeia is not an inanimate object.
I know, but that's where my head just went right now. Like DJ Lemon. That's nice.
I really want to get you into doing weddings.
Nick, I think
you said
also.
it.
That's 9.5 months.
I kind of like it.
It's a little lettuce. That's me 9.5.
Oh, bro, you got a head of hair, boy.
If you start DJing,
Bro, you got a head
When I
of hair,
slicked
boy.
that back, dude, that was nice. That was. Oh, I'll show you slick back.
You get a little fade on the side.
I would do a mullet though. You
gotta do a mullet.
That would be my number one.
No,
main
you can
focus.
make it look classy right now. Like you could do a classy one.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Bring it back.
Just slick the sides. Sides.
What the fuck? Can we just throw that in this episode for some reason?
That maybe that's the picture on YouTube
The,
for the podcast.
cover.
But we have to put Nick Flash's face in the corner. Dude, okay. I got to do your photo shoot for your album. I'm telling you, it's gonna go viral.
That's funny, man.
We could do some funny videos to promote the stuff.
The episode.
I would love it, dude.
Oh my gosh, this is funny.
I can go to the skate park tomorrow. Maybe do some rollerblading. I got blades. I used to be a street boy.
You got the kind that's like 4 wheels with 2 and 2 side by side, or like inline skates?
I'm the inlines. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm not retro.
Okay.
But I did break my wrist.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
When you were inline skater when you were a kid?
That was more of a joke.
Okay, so
I had rollerblades. Wasn't the best blader.
what were some of your guys' top albums as a kid that you bought that you remember owning? Albums, CDs. What were you? Did you have a tape player, CD player, or what?
I remember I bought a Switchfoot CD.
Switchfoot.
Yeah, remember Switchfoot?
That was your first CD ever?
I don't
What was your
wanna say-
first CD ever? And then, mine is kind of funny, actually. What was your first CD you ever owned?
Mumford and Sons.
Mumford and Sons.
Yeah. I was huge in Mumford in high school. I knew every word to every song.
Wow. So you had the CD.
Well, I had it in my car. That was the only CD I've ever owned. I had it in my
That was
car.
the only CD you ever owned was
Yeah.
a Mumford and Sons?
Yeah,
That's
so-
it?
Yeah. So,
Wow.
So I was on the cusp of like not buying CDs anymore. Too.
I see.
We had iTunes in the 7th grade. So
Wow.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time even remembering.
yeah, we didn't buy CDs because by the time we had money to buy CDs and we're at that age.
Oh, so
it
you're
was actually-
like on the end of the millennial spectrum, huh?
LimeWire was like 4th grade.
Right.
Yeah, 4th grade, 5th grade. That's when MySpace came out. Facebook came out.
Okay.
And then 6th grade was like Facebook and iTunes. And I remember
So
iTunes because we all
iPods.
had the iPod minis.
Right.
We all had the little minis or the nanos.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the scrolly-
With the scrolly. And that's what we had it in like middle school for sports games. It was the iPod Nano. That was like always the Christmas gift you would see was iPods and shit like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, so we were on the cusp of that. So with Mumford and
Red
Sons,
Hot Chili Peppers.
that's a good one.
You had that Red Hot Chili Pepper
It
CD.
was actually like a DVD that had all the music videos as well. And I would watch it like every morning at 7 a.m. when I woke up.
Nice.
What's your favorite sitcom of all time?
Maybe like Full House.
Really?
Great show.
Great show. It is a good show. Who's your favorite character? They just put you on the spot.
Rest in peace, Danny Tanner, real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out Bob Saget.
What about you?
The
What's
GOAT.
your favorite sitcom?
Probably
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like
The
it's
Office?
been going really good. I'm not a fan of The Office. I'm not a huge Office guy.
No. Parks and Recreation is pretty funny.
Parks and Recreation is way funnier in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I never really gave it a chance.
Ron Swanson? Oh, dude, it's Ron Swanson, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Is that New Boot Goofin? No, that the New Boot Goofin is the Reno.
901.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't really collect CDs or tapes or anything, huh?
No.
Definitely no
not
tapes.
Yeah, definitely not
no
tapes.
tapes.
No tapes.
I never owned the CD players, the portable CD players.
Yeah.
I never owned one of those.
I had one because my older
sister,
sister had
yeah.
CDs. I remember she had like the book in her car,
Yeah.
with, like, all the CDs and shit. But
Yeah.
my earliest memories of like listening to music and shit were like the iPod.
Yeah.
Mini.
So let me ask you a question. So you guys weren't really like album people? Did you listen to like full albums
No.
when you were younger?
It was
No,
iTunes,
not much.
bro. It was the top of iTunes.
Yeah.
Boom. We were never an album, and that's why I think singles have became a huge thing now from the last 10 years because these artists know like I'm looking for the trendy one pop hitter, boom boom, and then they'll release the album. So
Right.
they'll release the single that they know will catch. Right. They have a whole team behind them. That's it. And then they'll post the album compared to that single in the album that they know people are going to listen to at some point. But usually, bro, I skip through an album to the hot songs I know, and I don't listen to any other shit. Like, if there's 12 songs...
Man, that's really a shame. I really urge you guys to like pick some artists and like really listen to an album as an experience. Like really, like nowadays I'm starting to see like a resurgence of the album again. Like I'm starting to see more and more like my favorite artists actually releasing the vinyl, the tape. Like now you can go to you can go to Target and get vinyl now. You can go to Walmart and get vinyl. Like people really like are making albums again. And I think it's like a lost art form that's really coming back, like having that physical like copy in your hand that I think is really gonna come back. So I do urge you guys to like start like if you have Spotify, do a deep dive on an album. Like pick someone like one of your real favorite artists and listen to the album from front to back, like while you're doing something, or kind of just like take it in as a whole. Since you guys didn't get to experience that like younger.
Yeah. And that's why like Mumford & Sons, like I said, in high school, that was the only CD I had. I've seen them live 3 times in my life. And it's really cool though, because when you see an artist live, they'll play the songs a few songs that will hit, but the songs that like their true fans will know from listening to the whole album.
Right.
And it's really cool going to their concerts because the songs that like no one's really singing in the crowd, I know every word.
Right.
So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And usually
it's a cool feeling.
The really good artists tell a full story throughout the song flow. Like Post Malone said in his latest album, it's more of a story, and if you go through every song, you'll kind of hear the story come together. And I think that's beautiful. But yet the only ones that pop or you'll see trendy are the ones, and then you're kind of like, okay, I've heard his album, on to the next.
Right.
And I think more of the artists are also going through the storytelling, and that's why like everyone's like Drake's album sucks and this and that, because these rappers are getting to a different age too, so their music's going to start changing in that direction too.
Yeah. Well, also like I think with the Drake album, he's getting like, because it's just different, and like you have to be able to take risks. That's why I do really like appreciate the new Drake album, because it's almost, that's actually almost what sparked me to go along this like hyperpop mixtape that I was doing, because I knew people are gonna be like, what the heck is that? You know what I'm saying? Just because it's just like different. You know what I mean? A lot of people just like, they want to hear, they get used to an artist or they get used to something. They're like, cool, this is cool. I don't want it to change at all. You know, so when something's like kind of different, they're like taken back. But like if you really like listen to it, like you can find you can see that it's kind of like futuristic, or where you know that you can dare to be different. You know, you don't have to fit always inside a box as an artist. Yeah.
So random, because that's where my mind goes. Dunkaroos, you ever had those? Yeah.
So funny story about Dunkaroos. I watch my niece and nephew every Sunday. My niece is like 4 years old, and there was just this like case of Dunkaroos, and she knows I wasn't gonna get her anything. Like so when we were going into Publix for one thing and one thing only, and I'm pretty strict on that. Like they know they're not, but like she was determined to get these Dunkaroos, boy. She was just determined to get these Dunkaroos, and I was like, "Wow! Like, here's another thing, like from my childhood, just like coming back." Yeah.
Did you get them?
I got them.
Yeah.
I got the Dunkaroos, bro.
Yeah, I was not a big Dunkaroo guy.
No.
I'm just not a fan of icing, really.
Yeah. Except on a Pop-Tart. No, not a Pop-Tart.
I can walk past them and not get them, no problem. But like, if Nick Flash would have showed up with Dunkaroos, I would have easily eaten them. Yeah. Like, it's not like I would have been like, I'm not an icing guy, you know.
Yeah.
But I also can like walk past. They're at like the checkout aisle at Publix, you know, and I like don't buy them. You know what I mean?
You know, Nick Flash, on your first time around, I didn't ask the age-old question that I've asked almost every DJ that comes on here. What's your favorite bar to DJ at?
Here? Well, in West Palm is definitely Kachina.
Is it?
Yeah.
In the world.
My favorite bar to DJ in the world. Oh, actually, yesterday was cool. Since my daughter lives in New York, I've been wanting to try to figure out a way to DJ in Buffalo. So yesterday, a group of guys were having their bachelor party at Kachina, and they were fist pumping all night, bro. They were just like, yeah, like just like pumping, bro. And they came up to me at the end of the night. They were just like, really, thanks, but man, like, like we had like the best bachelor party. Appreciate you. If you're ever out in Buffalo, and I'm like, that's random because I've been looking for a place to DJ out in Buffalo so I can go like see my daughter, but also like DJ. You know what I mean? So he's like, yeah, man, anytime. So that's cool. Shout out to you guys.
Sick.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you.
Go
You
for
mentioned that you've been meditating lately. I'm just curious, like, what does that mean for you, and what do you do?
So also, do you know about these like doing breath work?
Yeah.
About
Wim Hof.
like deep breathing. I've been doing a lot of that first. So I'll do like the deep breathing and then meditating. There's this other guru, Sadhguru. Have you ever seen him?
Yeah.
He's like Indian, but he has specific meditation techniques that he uses that I kind of follow along, like to make it easier. But really, I just like close my eyes, listen to my breath, focus on like the middle of my head here. I mean, nothing too crazy. Like I just try to like shut out the noise.
Slow things
really
down.
just shut out the noise and practice shutting out the noise.
Yeah.
Because everything's always calling your name, dude. Yeah. Phone, errands, blah blah. So for me, meditating is mostly just like kind of shutting stuff off and really just taking some time for myself. There's not like anything crazy or any kind of crazy spiritual techniques, more than just like clearing like the noise away.
How long do you try
just
to do
shutting
that
off the noise, basically.
Yeah.
How long do you do that for?
10-15 minutes.
Yeah, nice.
I think it's important for everyone to have some type of mental reset for the day. For me, it's the gym when I'm there, and all I'm doing is blasting music and just not thinking about anything. And
Here's a question. Then give me some like of your gym playlists.
Oh, that's Meek
music,
Mill.
Meek
That's
Mills.
Meek Mill.
A lot of
That's,
hip hop in the gym.
Yeah, but like it's got to be like crunk hip hop, like not ghetto hip hop, I would say, but like hits hard. And Meek Mill was always my guy who hit hard. There's some MGK. Then I like some like hard ass techno. There's some rock in there. So just intense music.
Intense.
I'm very intense, and so I like to just like want to just jump off a bridge, just intense. And so usually that's the vibe. It's not chill at all. I've tried to listen to like Beethoven once in a while. Didn't work.
Didn't work. Beethoven at the gym. That's an interesting one.
That's funny.
Because sometimes like in the melodies, they'll fire you up. Violin.
You want to try some hyperpop in the gym?
I'll try Hyperpop. I would try to pronounce the Hyperpop name, but there's too many words.
Right.
You got to get an abbreviation for that. Like, what's the abbreviation for it?
I guess it would just be.
A lot of. But what's
I think that's like, to me, that was like the whole thing, to make it like kind of
song.
long as possible. Like as long as possible.
I love it.
Good.
It's your own, and like I said, you're the wave, so that could be literally the new wave. But it's also a story, like you said.
It's just really a story. That's all I wanted to do with this mixtape, was tell a story.
Yeah.
Really, that's it.
I love it.
Whether it's a wave or not is just like boom.
Nick, is there anything you want to talk about tonight before we finish things up?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to tell people to check out my SoundCloud. Go to
we'll put the links for everything
SoundCloud.
in the
Okay, yeah.
description.
So go to, if you want to hear something new. And then I also have a personal song like that I made called Interlude in D minor.
Okay.
And it's kind of like an introduction to some of the music I've been making.
And all your old stuff is still on your SoundCloud too,
Yeah,
right? I encourage
yeah.
you to dive into his other projects too, because like I've been a fan of Nick Flash's SoundCloud page for a long time. I love your hip hop mixes from back in the day. That jazz mix that we were talking about earlier, part 1 and part 2 are both fire. Those are like shit that I put on in the gym, or like if I'm cleaning the house, like. Bro, you've got some fire shit on your SoundCloud. So, in addition to the new project, I encourage everyone to like dive into all his old stuff too.
And I also want to like, I kind of want to express this idea of maybe turning the social media off as much, and the content that we're consuming, start consuming more like full albums, films, movies. You know what I mean? Longer form content, like. Because in this age of TikTok, we're always like, boom, looking for the next thing. So like, sit through a movie, like read a whole book from front to back. Listen to an album. Go buy a physical copy of an album, whatever that is. Go get a new, like, shout out to DJ Merkham. He's back in town for a while. He's been collecting tapes. Wow. So he's got a huge collection of like tapes, and like now new artists are coming out with tapes. There's a million different ways to listen to music nowadays. You can go buy a vinyl record player. You can go buy a tape player. Start like bringing, in this digital world that we're living in. Don't be afraid to like buy physical copies of like the things you love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The collector's edition, the special edition, things like that. Like start
investing into something.
Yeah, and like, and I wanted to say this too, because you asked me about like when I'm making TikToks. It's more like, instead of trying to be a trend, instead of trying to like make a piece of art of some kind. Take some time and like work on like you know what I mean, and put something out that you can be proud of, that like people can like really just enjoy, instead of like just scrolling to the next thing. I think that's really important, as like digital media is so intense and in your face, and social media is so intense. It's almost like a meditation. So like if you're a fan of video games, whatever it is you're a fan of, like play the game, like go play the game, go read the book, buy the movie. Like instead of going and streaming it on your streaming service, like buy the Blu-ray disc or something again, so you have it like in your library. You know, like it's one of the things that I kind of wanted to address, like as a millennial, and as we keep moving forward in technology, like the more we move forward, remember like the past.
Sure.
And like cherish that a bit.
Yeah.
And that's why I think why it's going to start getting more cherished, is because of that. Is because the older we get, we realize that our best times were really when we had those things, our most maybe happiest and fulfilled and joyful times were when those things were around. So I think there'll be a sense of like remembrance and like a whole happiness sense that comes behind that, and I'm excited for that. Your name on SoundCloud is at DJ Nick Flash.
Nick Flash.
Okay.
Nick Flash on SoundCloud.
Guys, as you support us, support people in the community that are doing things different. Nick Flash came on twice now, and he's a dope guy. Listen to his stuff. He's been around for a while, so that means he's pretty damn good. And if you have a local venue or anything that you want to book an awesome DJ for, hit Nick Flash up. I'm sure he'll like to talk to you about that. If you want to talk about life with someone who's very eclectic, very fun, very enlightened, Nick is a great person for that as well. So hit him up for any questions about that.
Hell yeah.
Nick, you got anything else?
That's it, man. I mean, just keep. I really love what you guys are doing, and just like I look forward to many more episodes, and to like hear and to see like the difference we can make, like in our generation as millennials or whatever, as newer generations are coming up, and like what our role is at like as millennials, you know,
as a human, and finding that role. And to me, one of my biggest whys now is kind of just putting that voice out there, and hopefully having impact. Whether it's an impact with 10 people or 10,000, I don't care. It's just an impact. So that's what's really cool to me. Pete, you got anything else?
I don't think so, man. That was
All
great.
right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this week's Millennial Mentality. Please, guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends and family about us. It means the world. We will see you guys next week, guys. This is Nick Flash. Peace.
I been outside getting money, I'm on my thug again. Tryna stack a little dub, tryna catch a win. And next time I drop a coupe, it's gonna be a twin turbo. Always been a G, but I ain't never been a herb though. Way I'm switching lanes, they should call a nigga Swervo.